So carbs are the ultimate source for a footballer, but not all carbs are created equal. So choosing the wrong carbs will actually affect the amount of energy your body produces, and which in turn will negatively affect your football performance. So in this video, I'm going to explain what type of carbs you should be eating as a footballer, and stay until the end because I'll give you access to an approved foods list that you can easily follow. Now, when considering what carbohydrates to eat as a footballer, we want to look at this from a bioenergetic lens, meaning that how do certain foods work with our biology from an energy production standpoint? Because we believe that energy is our body's currency. So if our bodies have enough energy, then they can actually thrive in any football environment. We'll be able to be stronger, faster, and recover quicker. And changing our environment, like the food that we eat, influences the amount of energies that our bodies produce. So plain and simple, our performance is entirely dependent on our energy. So the first study I'm going to reference is one from Sadie Bear and Jonathan Wright. Now look, what they did, they took two groups of people and they gave them the exact same amount of calories. But one meal was given through whole food sources like the one on my right here, and the other one was processed foods like the one on my left. And then what they found was that the participants who ate the whole foods like the ones here, the bodies produced 50% more energy than the ones eating processed foods. Now, there's obviously many reasons as to why that could be, but the obvious one to point out is that when you eat food, it's not exactly straightforward energy, it's potential energy. Now, how efficient your body is at actually converting that food into energy is a number of factors, but a big part to play is the amount of vitamins and minerals it has. Because we need vitamins and minerals in order to convert the food into energy efficiently. And whole foods, like the one on the right here, are so rich and dense in vitamins and minerals. So this is obviously huge when it comes to performance, because depending on what foods we choose and what carbohydrates we choose, we can actually double the amount of energy that our body produces. So the first rule as to what source of carbs to get from food is whole food sources. And the easiest way to think about this is that you get it from foods that have one ingredient, like an apple is an apple, banana is a banana. You don't want to eat from a box, you want to eat from the earth. So it doesn't really even stop there. When we're looking from a performance perspective, as mentioned earlier, we want to focus on energy production. So what else affects energy production? Now we know to stay away from processed foods, but what else is there? Antinutrients. Now you've probably never heard of them before, but these are compounds found in some of your favorite so-called healthy foods. And here are 3 reasons why they're negatively charging your power balance. First of all, they can interfere with the absorption of essential nutrients, which we know now that we need them to actually convert food into power efficiently. And then we have the digestive stress in terms of discomfort and also the ability to absorb the food, which makes it hard enough for the footballers to eat the food they need to meet those energy demands. And the third reason is the inflammation that it causes. Now, we know that footballers have enough inflammation going on for the physical stress they put in your body, and this all requires power and energy to put out those flames. So kind of think of it like this, you have a group of workers inside of your body, and they're in charge of doing all these different tasks, whether it's growing, fixing, repairing things, and just in general taking care of your body. But when you eat these anti-nutrients that aren't good for you, some of these workers need to get taken away from their other jobs to go and handle putting out the flames of the anti-nutrients that you've ingested. So they can't focus on more important things like growing and repairing the body, because everything consists of energy and power. So to the average person, the decrease in power discomfort might be fine, but for high-performing footballers that you want to maximize your power output, it just isn't ideal. Now you're probably thinking, what are some of the carbs that actually contain these anti-nutrients? Well, I'm mainly talking about grains here: pasta, wheat, brown rice, pastries, breads, that kind of thing. Now I know that a lot of you are thinking that every footballer eats pasta, and maybe some truth to that, but it's mainly because it's high in carbs. And times are changing, because there's research showing that pasta could be problematic for a lot of footballers from an energy production perspective, because it contains lectins and also phytates. And a study by Oliveira in 1988 showed that consuming lectins actually diminished the effectiveness of your body's ability to produce energy from carbs. Now, I know it makes sense from time to time to potentially eat it, especially match day 1, when your carb intake is so high and it's hard to get it from maybe whole food sources. So we would rather you actually eat some pasta, preferably gluten-free, than not hit your numbers at all. Now, a bonus tip that I could give you is start early in the day and consume a lot of fruit juices and dried fruit, because these are highly concentrated carbohydrate sources with vitamins and minerals with very low or little to none toxicity in them. So what carbs should you eat at the end of the day as a footballer? I'm going to give you a saying that you should be able to remember. It's roots, and fruits. Simple as that. And now, the question is why root vegetables? It's because root vegetables, they grow under the ground and they have less of a need to defend themselves against predators above ground. So they have less defense chemicals inside of them. And on top of that, when we eat root vegetables like potato or sweet potato, we're peeling the skin off, and that's where a lot of the anti-nutrients are housed. And then fruit, on the other hand, well, fruit, the plant wants us to eat the fruit. That's why it's so vibrant and succulent. And when we eat the fruit, we usually discard the seeds into the ground and allows the plant to procreate. So there's an incentive there for us as humans to eat the fruit. Now, another question you might have is how much carbs should you eat on a daily basis? And we can go through that in such detail, but it's 6 to 8 grams on match day at -1 and +1, and then about 4 to 6 on training days, and then 2 to 4 on rest days. If you want more information, we have a masterclass, and just click the link in our bio, and you can find it there. It's for free for limited time only. And then that is all. So I hope we've cleared up for you what carbs to eat as a footballer and why you should be eating them from whole food sources like roots and fruits, and the disadvantage behind eating them from processed foods and from an energy production perspective. So thank you for watching. Look, if you found this helpful, please help us by subscribing so we can continue to make more videos like this for you to help you on your journey as being the best possible player you can from a genetic perspective from nutrition and supplementation. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.